What's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to the Den. If you're not familiar with the Den is a friendly conversation where opinions are uncensored, no matter what it may be that you believe or want to know. You know, we offer a variety of different thoughts and opinions on the situations at hand, whatever the topic may be of that evening, and it's an open discussion where people to express, to ask questions, to do what it is they do. But again, no holes barred conversation. Now, I'm your host, Honcho. If you don't know, now you know. And tonight we're going to be talking about perfection. We're going to be talking about a few different aspects of perfection and what it truly means. Is it attainable? You know, is it just a myth? You know, and a few other things that go along with that. But like I say, you know, this is the Den, and we try to stay on topic, but sometimes we get a little bit distracted. So I'm sure we'll be covering some other things also. Shaolin Fantastic, what's the motherfucking deal? Joshua, Mr. Rabbit, Dominic, Kenneth, with your pre-recorded quotes. Good to see all y'all this evening. I hope y'all are having an enjoyable pre-Thanksgiving, you know, and, you know, all that good stuff. Edmund, what's the motherfucking deal? Edmund, I don't care about dislikes. I never have, I never will. That means absolutely nothing to me. I mean, look, they could have that be the only feature, and it would mean nothing to me. So, but again, like I said, we're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna discuss some things. Let me fix this. I'm looking a little sketchy here. All right, that looks a little bit better. But I want to talk about a few different things. Okay. And again, like I say, I hope everybody is good. Hello, Heidi, Balin. Perfection. And I think that it's a very interesting conversation. You know, if you are a believer in particular religions, you know, they'll say that, you know, there was only one perfect man and woman, and I guess that was supposed to be Adam and Eve. You know, some people mention a Lilith. That's a whole nother conversation. But, you know, that's kind of for you to determine. We're going to talk a little bit general, kind of get into some specifics. But my thing about this, and I always say that about the perfect man, perfect woman, you know, that's why I say that every woman can have game ran on her, and every man can be a simp, I guess, if you will. Because if Adam was the perfect man and he got played for some pussy because he wanted to eat the apple, and if Eve was the perfect woman, she let a motherfucker whisper a few magic words in her ear and get her to do wrong, then, you know, that's just my little spin on it. But anyway, you know, make the Den great again. But, you know, like I say, talking about perfection. Let's start with self before we start talking on a wider scale. Let's talk about self. And I think that the perfect self can be problematic, if you will. Because why I say that is that people strive for perfection. But if you're always perfect and you never make mistakes, how do you grow? How do you progress? You know, perfectionism or being a perfectionist can be a hindrance in some ways. And there's been times in my life that I could say, especially when I was younger, and I talk about how my pops used to do me with my schoolwork, especially I'm talking about way young. Like if I had an erase mark, if I had anything on there, he would crumple that shit up and I'd have to start that shit all the way over. And so I think that hindered me in certain ways, because then there would be certain activities that if I didn't feel 100% confident enough that I would be performed perfectly, then I would hold off from doing them, you know? And so, it's a mental thing. But honestly, yeah, and I agree with you, there is no such thing as perfection. But in your mind, you know, you want to represent yourself a certain way. You want to be seen in the best light, the perfect light. But I think that, you know, people have to get out of that. I don't think everybody suffers from that, but I think people are conscious of when they do make mistakes. And, you know, a lot of people would wish they didn't, but you have to understand that those mistakes are what build character. Those are the things that make you, that improve you as a human being. Yeah, I agree with you on this, Balin, but just not about Kay Adams. That's where we will differ. We are complete opposite ends of the spectrum on that one. So there's that. But again, man, like I'm saying, is that perfection. I think when it comes to self, it's a mind state. I know that there is a perfect body image. I know that people have in their minds, and for some of us, it may be, the six pack and the being swole or whatever you want to call it. Some people may want to be slim, maybe just toned, maybe not so defined. Some people may feel the perfect body is, being overweight. You see a lot of these women who start off real small and they become, what do they call them, gainers. And then they eat, and they get large, and they view being fat as the perfect body image. So again, like I say, it's all in your mind. It's a state of mind. It's an opinion that I think you have to determine on your own as far as what is perfection. But the thing is that you will never achieve it, because even you look at, say, a bodybuilder for example, and the bodybuilder, they work out for years and years and years, and they can train and get all the awards. They could win, the Mr. Olympia, I don't know, Mr. Universe. I don't know what all other awards are. I think there's a couple. I don't even know if they still do those. I'm assuming they do. But even after they attain these things, what do? They continue to train. They continue to push. They continue to want more because they're not satisfied. They feel like they can get better. They can get better and better. There will never be an end game, because if there was ever a belief in perfection, I think that's where things would stop. People wouldn't strive for more. People wouldn't want to achieve more, because there's no maintaining perfection. You're either perfect or you're not, and there is no perfect. And so that's why I even get not confused, but I question, the perfect man, the perfect woman. What made them so perfect? You know what I mean? And what was it that made them perfect? Well, obviously it wasn't having all the knowledge of the world, because they sought out more knowledge because they felt like they were lacking, And so I think that, again, perfection is purely opinion. Very opinion. Man up, what's the motherfucking deal? See, a man six pack be told and negated by one retarded sentence. I'll take the witty guy with the furry belly. But what about the witty guy with the six pack? Now that's winning. I don't know if the witty guy with the furry six pack, I don't know how that works. But anyway, but we know you're into furries and weird stuff like that. Hashtag Berlin gang. But again, it's perception. It's pure perception. And it's a word that I think gets used way too often. You know what I mean? And I don't think that, beer belly, and I don't drink. That's funny. I'm in the same boat. Don't feel bad. I'm in the same boat. I ain't been drinking. And I never really was much. I stopped really drinking hard when I was like 21. When it became legal for me to drink, that's when I toned down all of that. Every now and then I had my splurges. I had a couple of streaks here and there, but just as far as being a constant drinker, never, not really. But again, perfection, because two people can look at another individual, we can have a conversation. So say me and Balin are having a conversation, and say we're discussing attractive women. He may say, "Hey, Kay Adams is perfection." I will completely disagree with him. I would say, I absolutely disagree with you. I don't find her very attractive at all. Not my bag, not my cup of tea. I'm not saying that she's not attractive to someone else. It's not insulting. And I feel like you can say that someone is not attractive to you and not be insulting, because of course there's somebody out there that likes it. Already, man, I appreciate you following through. What, carrot sticks no good? Well, we'll get to that conversation a bit later. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I don't have my little notes. I usually keep notes of things that I want to make sure I stay on top of. But again, so that's why I say, perfection is a state of mind, and not only with the self, but we can talk about society. Someone made a Hitler reference earlier, and Hitler's idea of a perfect society was what? The tall, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, even though he didn't fit that category. Odd. So he didn't even view himself as perfect. Quote-unquote master race. I, personally, would not think that's perfect. Again, so it's all perception. It's all how you view things with your own opinion. Um, and so I think that it comes together with the experiences that you've had. It comes together with I won't say the way you were raised necessarily, but the experiences that you had, your state of mind. Because I think there's been research saying that, the way you're raised actually doesn't impact your personality as much. Because they were talking about something where twins who were raised in completely different households were very similar when they actually met up later on in life. It's odd Hitler said that because he didn't. It's an American myth. American myths are the best myths. Okay. Well, if it is, enlighten me, mein ckin, about this whole thing. Because I would find that out. I always found that very strange that they always said, he wanted the blonde-haired, blue-eyed thing, and he wasn't either one of those things. So, again, another difference. Balin might think that Mr. Rabbit's mom is attractive. Mr. Rabbit may not agree. So my thing is, you have to understand that perfection is a myth. Perfectionism is a problem. But there's not saying not to strive, not to be your very best. Progress is the solution. But when you seek perfect, you will always be disappointed because there will always be a flaw. There will always be a problem because what perfect is, again, it will always be determined by someone else's opinion. You may feel like you did the best job ever. You feel like you did everything perfectly. You may say it's a paper and you've punctuated properly. Your syntax is in order. You've used MLA standard. You've documented your sources. You've done everything perfectly. But then it comes down to a professor's opinion, and they may have wanted you to argue a different point, and they don't like the point you argued. So you get a 99 instead of 100. Like I say, there is no perfection because there will always be someone, whether their opinion is valid or not, who will always say, nah, I don't think that's perfect. I don't think that is. Like we have segregation, the Brits can say all that for Germans or the racists. Well, Germans are racist. They're freaks too, but we'll save that for a completely other den. And German men are culprits and suspect. This is getting very interesting. We talk about perfection and we start going left very early on. I'm trying to stay on topic. I ain't listening to y'all. But my thing is this. Striving for perfection, I think, is a different way of saying, hey, I'm trying to be my very best. But I think people look for perfection and they try to use perfection as a standard. But again, there is no perfect standard. You can't tell me anyone who's ever done anything perfectly. You can sit here and say, oh, this chick, she's the perfect woman. But I'm sure if you were to analyze her, that you would find flaws. If you were to, like those nude models or whatever, the people paint them or they sculpt or whatever it is. And I'm sure if you were to take a closer view, from a distance, you're like, oh man, she's perfect. But then if you were to get down to the nitty gritty and even if you start using I want to say a microscope, get you a magnifying glass, you start finding blemishes. You'll find flaws because there is no perfection, But I think striving perfection is just another way of saying I'm trying to be my very best. I'm trying to work on my weaknesses and make them my strengths. I'm trying to improve all of my flaws. But what you have to realize is once you improve all of those flaws, what's going to eventually happen is that you're going to realize more flaws that you didn't recognize that you had initially. So I think that's interesting. I'm sure they like to read a lot about a lot of things. I think people in the South, people in the South don't read. But it is what it is. So why do women try to be perfect? Again, and what is that? It's a mental issue. Because if you're having to implement some type of external material, I don't know, what is it? I forgot what the dilly dally is. What is it? Is that it? I don't know if it's urban perfect. What is I don't remember what the fucking thing is. Somebody pull up what's the command for the dictionary? I forgot what it is. I don't know if it's define or explain or whatever it is. I forgot what the dictionary definition thing is. Define. Okay. Thank you. Because Honcho see a nice big German fat ass and goes, well, again, it determines it's about what you determine an ass to be. What is explain, define? Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure that definition was talking to me. But I mean, like again, it comes down to opinion. What you may see as perfect is, in another person's opinion, something that you would see as so. Hey, T'Challa, what's the motherfucking deal? My town trill, what's the motherfucking deal? And make sure I ain't miss nobody. I see a couple of people slid in here. So like I say, perfection is just simply a state of mind. It's a goal. It's a pursuit. But again, if you overthink it, it could mean that it can put you in a position where you start hindering yourself before you can help yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is that you have to understand where you draw the line, and you don't want to use the term perfect as a basis for your goals. You know, I want to be the perfect this, the perfect that. But like you're saying earlier about the plastic surgery, if you choose to do that, again, you have this image in your mind, and it's not just women, because there's some weirdos who do it too. Because like an Asian dude or something who was trying to be like a fucking Ken doll or some shit like that, and fucking, okay, that's an odd thing to explain, Balin. Yeah, from Kay Adams being thick into that definition, I'm starting to wonder about you. But my thing is, yeah, but what happens is because people are easily influenced. And so it could be one person that just says, hey, I love big asses. And somebody else, hey, you know what? Big asses are pretty cool because they like this person's opinion, and they may be influenced by it. Some people may see a certain level of ass as bigger than another level of ass. Some people may say, they like little small tight booties, and maybe because it has a little round clip that they feel like, it is what it is. It just depends on how you perceive it. And that's why I say you got to be, as a person, you have to stand on your own accord. You can't really worry about what other people think. And unless I guess you're trying to impress that person for a job or something, I guess then you got to wonder what they think. But as far as who you want to be or who you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to accomplish in yourself, you have to have a standard, have a goal, and be happy to achieve that goal. Maintain that goal, because you can't maintain perfection. Again, like I say, you're either it or you're not. And again, so we have to get away from using the word perfection so much. I feel like, you talk about 16-0, the perfect season, right? But is it really the perfect season? If people have gone down due to injury, if people have, had thrown interceptions or fumbled the ball or things of that nature, is it truly perfect? Did the precision QB, did they go 25 for 25 every game? Then absolutely not. It wasn't. There is no perfect. You could have a 100% record, of victory, but there is no perfect. But it's just a word that people use to set this unattainable standard, because perfect just sounds like this goal. It just sounds like this, I can't think of the word I'm wanting to use, but this mythical thing, this standard that is so high that it's only reserved for the few, the upper echelon, if you will. And that's not the case. You have to be happy with who you are, and you have to, again, strive to be your very best. Because what a lot of people do with this idea of perfection, this idea of being perfect, is they have someone else's image in their mind for themselves. Okay. And the funny thing about it is the person that they may view as perfect, or the person that they may seek as their gold standard, or their standard of perfection, doesn't view themselves that way. And so, I mean, how can you view someone else as perfect that doesn't view themselves that way? So I think that you, again, that's just why I say it's a lot of things that you have to look at when you talk about perfection. Dominic, weird, just weird. Says insecure, someone who extremely lacks self-confidence. Insecure person would be introverted. And I don't think necessarily that's true. I don't think just because a person is introverted that they're insecure. But I mean, it's not necessarily saying that, but they were saying that they would be introverted. He or she won't know their worth. They would dislike their physical appearance and constantly compare themselves to their peers, never feeling good enough, feeling sorry for themselves, feeling sorry for people who look at them. Insecure people are really kind at heart. They just don't love themselves due to blank. That's where it cuts off. What if insecure people really aren't kind at heart? What if they're not? What if they're just horrible people? You know, and they're horrible to other people because, I mean, it could be because they're insecure, but what if they're just bad people? You know, don't get Odell here. That's not perfect. That's a culprit. That's weird shit. But again, that's why I say, man, you know, you have to love yourself first and foremost, because here's the thing that I find odd is if you can't love yourself, how can you love someone else? Because if you don't know what it is to truly care for yourself, that's why I hate terms like, you know, when somebody says, oh, you complete me, or I'm looking for someone to complete me. How you walking around this motherfucker half a person? How are you walking around this motherfucker not complete with yourself? You have to be who you are. No one should be able to complete you, because then when you are of that mind state, what you're going to do is you're going to become attached to this person in an unhealthy manner and not be able to feel like, you know, that you can't survive on your own. You're going to feel like you don't have any worth on your own. You know what I'm saying? And you just have to, again, like I say, you have to know your own worth. You have to become the best you that you can be to get as close to perfection. But again, you say, from Houston, I've seen a lot of girls come really, really close. But what is perfect, though? I'm saying, so what I mean is, like, it's your opinion of perfect, because you could say you have a chick who has a nice toned body, which you would say would be in good shape. She could run marathons and do all this other stuff and would be relatively healthy, gets her hair done nicely, maybe wears makeup, who knows? Just like I said, it's just a general reference. And somebody could be like, man, she's fine. She's perfect. And then somebody else, you might have a BBW lover who's sitting here and say, that bitch ain't shit. That bitch need to eat something. That bitch, or you know, the big women they're always allowed to talk shit about the skinny girl. Only a dog want a bone, you know. So I'm telling you, you have to. It's your definition. Somebody may see a bigger woman as better. Like I say now, there are limits, but then there's people who love the fabs, and they think fabs are perfect. You see a lot of really skinny dudes walking around with some pretty big women. Oh, let me separate that. Very large women. I don't want to say pretty big women, because then they'll be like, oh, you know, look at me. I'm a pretty big girl. At least my face cute. You see a lot of skinny dudes walking around with some big girls, and some of these motherfuckers look happy. I done seen some shit. That internet is a strange place. Kenneth, that's not even a question. And see, if you would have been paying attention, we've already addressed that, you know. So there's that. And Kenneth, we're not even gonna get into. And we're talking about BBWs, man. I'm not even gonna put Kenneth out there. That's the only reference I'm gonna make to Kenneth and the things that he sends this evening. I'm worried about that poor child. He needs to constantly be in school. He needs to be constantly under supervision. He needs to constantly be involved in something productive. He needs no vacations. He needs no time off, no time out. You know, he needs to Okay. Now you're exposing kids. That's you saying that, not me. That sounds illegal, man. I don't want nothing to do with that. So again, like I say, you got to understand that perfection is opinion. And you can see women that you may find very, very attractive. And you could say, oh man, she looks really good. It could be certain clothes that make her that girl walking around hoping that they him have it pretty tough. Somebody, hey, there's some foot fetish loving motherfuckers out there. And food stamping is not a lifestyle that you want to live. Maybe temporarily, but you don't want to live the food stamping lifestyle permanently. But okay, well, y'all motherfuckers don't need no breaks. Y'all keep that on that side. Y'all, we don't want that on this side. But again, like I say, talking about perfection, and let's look at it from a society aspect, because people want to attain, looking like sausages. I give them to Scotty. If Scotty got a foot fetish, he probably wouldn't even fuck with them motherfucking most sausage. Look at those. But my thing is that you look at society, and people want to talk about perfect societies and what's the word, homogenous societies, and they feel like, oh, that's the reason why America's full of crime, because it's a melting pot, and that's why it's not perfect and all this. And that's not the case, because if we want to get all the way back to the beginning, then there's a lot of people who should be here. And we're not talking about the Mexicans, all right, because they probably were here before we were, or before a lot of folks were. So anyway, the thing is, people try to use that as an excuse, societies that are multicultural, and say, that's why we can't have perfection, or that's why we can't have a crime-free society. And that is not the case. It has nothing to do with that. Now, do I believe it would hinder certain aspects of crime, hate crimes and things like that, because you have random acts of violence that occur because you have these people who point the finger at everyone else and who believe these things. Well, it's those people over there. That's the reason why, we're having all these problems. It's them, when it's really, people like you, or, people in your area. And the funny thing about it is, like, say, for instance, like white people who blame black people for everything. A lot of these people don't even live around any black people. And they blame, that's the reason why all this is happening. And they're mad. They have to travel 20, 30 miles to go cause an issue in a black neighborhood or something, because there's no blacks around, because they want to feel like they're right about something. And then at the same time, black folks who blame white people for all of their problems. It's not the case. It's never that. It's never anybody else is the reason for your problem. It's generally you and people that are like you. That are most likely to cause you problems. I mean, that's a fact. The people that you're around, your environment, is most likely to cause you the most problems. Have been going to the gym? No, I have not been going to the gym. I haven't gone to the gym in years. The body positive movement, making dudes like Fatto. Man, body positive. I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? I want to see everybody win. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to be happy. Okay. I want everybody to love themselves for whatever reason they love themselves. But if you love yourself simply because you're fat, well, that ain't quite gonna cut it. Okay. I'm not telling you not to love yourself if you're big, but if you only love yourself, well, because I'm fat, man. Oh man, there's this channel. I wish I wrote down the fucking name of it, but it's like I don't even know how I came across it the other day, about last week or sometime, and it was a chick. She's like Ukrainian or something, and has a kind of heavy accent, really funny. But basically, she like attacks SJWs and things like that. But it was, I guess there's this Ukrainian dating show or something like that, and where I guess they hook people up with strangers. And she was basically talking about how society is allowed, and this is funny because it's not even America, because we generally think it's only in America, but apparently this is happening in other countries too. But the obesity rates aren't as high in some of these other countries. In America, we just tell everybody, oh, you're great, you're perfect because, whatever. When it's just, it's not the case. There's the health problems and things that are associated with. And I say this because I want people to be, better. I'm not saying that just because you're skinny, you don't have health problems, and that's the way people try to flip it. But you're less likely to have certain health problems, if you're not carrying around a bunch of extra unnecessary weight. But basically she was talking about it, and she took clips of the show and she kind of just did commentary on it. And there was a big girl, and here's one thing, and I tell you, I have no problem with BBWs as long as you're proportionate. It can look good, and there's things you can do to look better. It's when you get to that fab status. There's BBWs, there's thick, and then there's fab. That's not all going. It's thick, then BBW, then fab. But this was a fab. She weighed, what did she say, 147 kilograms. And so the thing that killed me about this one was her attitude. Like, hey, I'm all about self-confidence. I'm all about, loving yourself. I'm all about, you being confident in who you are. But again, being confident for the wrong reasons is unacceptable. Yeah, there you go. Not acceptable. So basically, because they were using, the subtitles, and basically saying my highlight in society is because I'm fat, and most Ukrainians or whoever it is, they don't look like me, so I stand out because of my weight. And so she came on this motherfucker. And the chick who was, I guess one of the hosts, it was a chick and a dude, I guess, who was the host. I didn't watch the whole video. But the chick who was the host, she wasn't just the smallest chick, but she was smaller than this other girl. And so she's like, yes, because I am very pretty, because I have skinny arms and skinny legs, and my face is pretty like yours. And and it wasn't. She had like some pigtails or something there. She was not an attractive woman. And again, these are my opinions. My opinions. And so they asked her, well, who would your ideal guy be? And this is the thing that kills me a lot about with the big girls, is because you find it acceptable for yourself for you to be big, and especially not proportional. Because like I say, she was one of those centered motherfuckers. Her fat was all in the face and fat all in the middle, but had like skinny arms. So not only was she big, she was very disproportionate, and it just wasn't what it was. So they asked her, she's like, and I brought a picture so you can already know who the ideal guy that I want to meet is. And she brought a fucking picture of Justin Bieber. Now, am I a believer? No, I'm no believer. But Justin Bieber, I don't know what he's been going through lately, but I'm sure at one point in time he was working out and he had to stay in shape and had to, work out to maintain what he did, and he dances and he's active and he's doing all this other stuff. And so I think that's where it blows my mind, is the fact that you can be big, you can be out of shape, you can be basically unhealthy. Because this bitch was over there eating fucking, I don't even know what kind of sandwich, fucking pimento cheese and salami and shit. 4 or 5 of them bitches. But that shit was disgusting. But you expect your ideal mate to be in shape and all this, and that's the only thing that's suitable for you. I find that odd that people who feel like, I don't have to be in shape, I don't have to be this, but whoever I'm with, they need to be, of this caliber, but they don't maintain themselves in that way. And I find that very odd. I think you reciprocate what you deserve. I mean, you get what you are, Now, hey, I ain't mad at you. If you able to, you got a mouthpiece or you got something working for you that you able to upgrade, get it in, do your thug thing. But ideally, I think it's out of line for people to expect that they deserve so much better than, but I guess you got to have that kind of mind state if you want to, shoot for a higher goal. I'll open up the deadline in about about 8 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what's that. Ken. Ken, do you have a nickname? What is the nickname that the others call you? You're in your inner circle. I'm just wondering, because you definitely have a nickname in the sauce and the den. Cologne, Big Ken. Kenny, like, oh my God, they killed Kenny. I need to watch that. I'm a good 4 or 5 seasons behind on South Park that I really need to catch up. South Park is a great show. Colin ejected. That's funny. Edman, with the way you've ended a few of your calls recently, I don't know if that's the terminology you want to use right now. He's definitely no Kenneth Cole. All right. You know what? That's what I need. I used to like that Kenneth Cole Black cologne. That shit used to. I need to get some more. It's been some years since I've had some. I need to get some of that. That definitely. Let me jot that down. Now, Simpy Ken, don't be out there going to try to buy some Kenneth Cole Black talking about you that you with all that shit. Hey, Brute, look. Some Brute and damn, what's that shit? Not High Sierra. What was that shit called? God damn, I forgot what it is. High Karate. But yeah, Calvin Klein, like I said, I'm trying to remember which one was it. It's been a while. Like I said, my cologne game is nowhere. I haven't really been fucked with the cologne in a while. It's been going au natural, smelling like dried soap and shit. CK1, that was the one. That's the one. Okay, that's the one. I was actually looking at a couple of colognes the other day because I was telling myself, 2019, I got to get back on a couple of things. I got to get back consistent in the gym. And then only smoking when I'm in the den or in the sauce though. So like usually throughout the day, I'm not smoking anything. And then when I get to the gym, it's usually like in my day with a Black and Mild or so, because Kenneth gets on my nerves and he stresses me out. And I know he's gonna come around, so I have to smoke Black and Milds to not deal with it. Unisex. What is that? Is that for the bisexuals? Is that what Edman's wears? The CK1? But again, and the thing is funny because like I said, when I was looking at some of the colognes, I was like, damn, it's been a long time since I've really just been on it. And I've seen some new things that I hadn't seen in a while, but it's funny to see like a lot of the old stuff is still around. I'm gonna go get some motherfucking me. I'm gonna give me some Cool Water by David Hasselhoff. No. But again, like I say, it's interesting. But again, yeah, Cool Water, man. Look, I'm gonna go get the bootleg shit, some cold water, some cold agua. Yes. Agua Frio, the Mexican cool water. But again, we're talking about perfection, man, and just talking about society and talking about things like that. That can there be a perfect society? Because, and it statistically has been shown, and that crime has decreased. I remember actually watching a TED Talk a few months back, and it was a fucking weirdo looking dude. But he was talking about how crimes basically from the 1800s, and there was a chart, and it just, and it shows the decline. And it started off, I think, with like in England, because they were talking about how they kept recording crimes and then up until this point. It really wasn't talking about American statistics as much, but then he briefly at the end, he did talk about it. How it has declined over the year, but what we do these days is because you have to. These people need a cause these days, right? Because one is still too much, but violent crime has decreased significantly. Even if if you want to look at it from the last couple of decades, sex crimes have decreased significantly. White collar crime, I don't know so much. I haven't really checked on that, but I wonder how much white collar crime is, undocumented. But yet people still push these things like it's just the worst stuff happening. The crime rates are out of control, but yet they've decreased year by year by year by year. But people don't want to talk about that, because if you talk about that, then hey, something must be going on. Something right must be happening. White collar crime, no. White people have dirty collars. White collar crime means waiters and waitresses stealing tips. That's what white collar crime is. The only place the crime rate has increased, it is probably on Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption as of late. But no, seriously though, but again, it has decreased consistently year in and year out. Now, of course, I'm sure there'll be an anomaly here and there. And that's why you have these people who refer all the time to, well, look at Chicago. There goes Kenneth saying it right there. Well, look at Chicago and look at this and look at that. It's so bad over there. Why do you have to pinpoint that one place? Because if you look around as a whole, crime is decreasing year in and year out. Rapes are decreasing. I'm sure if you looked at a statistic from the 60s and 70s, and when the culture was way more misogynistic, when it was, hey, women are more objectified, up until this point now. And I said because I said I was going to do a den yesterday. We're going to have an extended den tonight. So I'm going to push my normal workout time to a little bit later. And y'all are welcome. And so we're going to do an old school den. We're going to talk for a little while tonight. We're going to talk some shit tonight. And so, you have to look at why do people do this? Why are people pushing this agenda? Because one, it does need to be made aware, because I guess we want to get into is, again, like you said, even one rape a year is too many rapes. Are they saving more than they rape? Well, I'm going to tell you that the saving over the rapes has decreased, because Bill Cosby's going to jail, because he was the main saver over the raper. He was raping, but he was saving. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, it's not that bad. $6 a country club compared to Honduras. Well, let's ask Kenneth in his unair conditioned classrooms in Honduras. And now he's over here in America being lazy, taking this shit for granted, not doing his best, not trying to be perfect. Say too many rapes, then what is this enough? The enough is, one is too many, but let's be honest, that there'll never be just one rape a year or no rapes a year. And it will never be perfect, because if society ever becomes to the level where there's no rapes, no murders, no violence, well, there is going to be a lot of violence. It may be at the hands of the government because it'll be justified, but what that means is going to be like that movie. And I didn't quite see it, so I don't know exactly how it worked, but I want to say it was a Tom Cruise movie where basically they were I guess arresting people for thought crimes. And I'm saying, this as trying to remember the fucking preview for it. How basically somebody was thinking about committing a crime. They would get arrested before it happens or something, because I guess there was like a computer or something that knew that it could read people's minds. And then they would go and arrest them before it would happen. No, the reefer's not back. Reefer's not back. I have some goals I must attain before the reefer can come back. And I'm hoping that, by the end of the year, these goals are attained, and, occasionally bring back the reefer. I don't think it'll be to a point where it's a daily thing, but maybe, once a week or on a weekend den or something like that, we'll talk a little crazy, have a reefer den, and, make it happen. I thought those were always enjoyable dens. Definitely a lot of crazy conversations. But again, so the thing is you have to think about is you want to minimize it as much as you possibly can, but at the same time, how much authoritarian power will be in place for there to be no crime, Crime only happens when it's officially reported. Do people report less? I wonder, but maybe they report now. Is the stop snitching movement a thing? Is that what's happening? See, usually this decade in the 90s was 405. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's declining slowly but surely. And the funny thing about it is Houston is growing, but the murders are declining because Houston is growing rapidly. It's on pace to pass up Chicago within the next few years, if I'm not mistaken. And a lot of people from California are coming here, and that's even worse. And you think about it, how many people are trafficking illegal narcotics through this town, and it's a hub for things like that. All the other stuff that's going on, but yet either people are getting better at hiding bodies, or it's a situation to where things really aren't as bad as they used to be, and then you got everybody, motherfuckers can't commit crime in skinny jeans. All these motherfuckers wearing skinny jeans. How the fuck you gonna commit crimes in skinny jeans? You can't run, can't get away. And when I say the police are useless, my thoughts on the police are this. Okay, I don't hate cops. They got a fucking job to do. Have I ever fucking benefited from the use of the police? I can't say that other than the one coach who used to coach my AAU league. He did help me get my post game on point. I give him that. He couldn't beat me now, the old ass nigga. But my thing is fashion. But my thing is what police do. Police don't prevent crime. They don't. And this is what people don't realize when they're always talking about, we need more cops. We need more cops. Why? When at the rate that we already have police, the crime is already dropping. It's not, they don't help. They don't help prevent crime at all. What they do is evaluate the scene after a crime has been committed. You know what I mean? Usually something has already happened and then they get called. Getting dunked on? Nah, it didn't happen. Let me tell you something. I've been dunked on one time in my life. One time. I'll foul the fuck out your motherfucking ass before I get fucking dunked on. If old buddy would have tried to, like, he would have had to lock me up because I'd have caught an elbow in his gut. And the one time I got dunked on, it's because I was lacking talking shit. I was playing one-on-one with my homeboy. And he had actually just went to college. And I think this was like my senior year. And we were at the YMCA. I used to kill the YMCA. And man, this is when I was athletic though. And I'd actually just dunked on him. Went straight up. He tried to go straight up with me. And I dunked on him. I leaned on his motherfucking ass. And so, he was seeking revenge. He was about my size. A little bit slightly slimmer than I was. But this was actually before I had really started hitting weight. So he's probably about the same size. And so he came back and got me because I was talking shit, and I jumped a little bit late. And he got me. I gave him his props for that one. But outside of that, never. I'm talking about I knew some niggas who had some hops. I knew some niggas who could get up there. I refused to get dunked on. Y'all shut up. I'm finna open the line in just a second. Goddamn. So, there's that. And just trust me. Look, I'm not with the get. Look, I remember one time we were playing. I want to say it was a team from Kashmir. It was Kashmir. It was one of these little AAU tournaments. Them niggas tried to hit me with the okie doke alley oop. Nigga tried to throw an alley on me from out of bounds. I was not having that shit. That nigga went up to get that hoe. I was like, oh no. I snagged that bitch with one hand. We got blew out that game. It wasn't even close. But I had to yank that hoe before buddy caught that because it would have been bad. I wasn't getting put on nobody poster. But here's the deal. Give me 1 second. we'll open up the den line. Let me do a quick little audio test here. Make sure everything is. Well, shit, I gotta have the other headphones in. My fault. Let me put everything together here, and we'll open up the den line. We'll let y'all call in with your thoughts. Not call in with your thoughts, Kenneth, and just see how y'all feeling. Give me 1 second. Give me just a little beat down. Beat down. I'm reading your shit. Nigga, shut your bitch ass up. The shit you be sending on fucking Instagram is beat down. So don't get me started. Give me 1 second. And it's called a desk. Get you one. And we'll get this party started. Un segundo, por favor. I know that's y'all's favorite saying, but I'll be right back. Only one intro. All right. So here's the deal. Here is the deal. We will open up the sauce line. Kenneth, hey, if football don't ever work out for you, and I don't even know what that is. If football don't ever work out for you, which it probably won't, if you approach football the way you approach your schoolwork. You should also try failing at comedy too. That might work out for you. All right, so here is the dilly dally. And let's open up the den line. We're taking a couple of calls. Call me now for your free reading. Yes, I thought that was a fail video you had sent me. I didn't know what that was. Yeah, I can't remove it. I don't want to. So again, I thought that was like a low lights video. I didn't know what that was you sent me. I thought that was like, one of them blooper tapes. I thought it was high school blooper action. I didn't know what was happening on that shit. All right, we'll take a call. Let's see who we got calling in.
I'm gonna be dead, Honcho. I'm just saying, bro.
What's the motherfucking deal? ckin, I can already tell from the voice. What do you have to drop in the den this evening?
Man, first and foremost, fuck Baytown, fuck Conroe, and fuck Port Arthur. That's number one. That had to be taken care of. But it's not the point of the call. The point of the call was actually to ask you about, like, what do you make of, like, black people and this still, like, no snitching rule that, you know what I'm saying, that's somehow still going on to this day, and basically the entire black culture, to be honest. Like, I just want to know, like, what do you make of that shit? And another thing is, get you a new desk, nigga. That shit sound like it's goddamn 10 years old. You over there not trying to invest in a new desk and shit. You say you trying to make the sauce better, motherfucker. Get your new desk, you know what I'm saying? I'm tired of hearing that squeaky ass desk on the streams every time. You with that shit every stream, Honcho. I always see it's either your chair or your desk. You need to get you a new one. Go ahead.
Kenneth, you're absolutely right about that. And I'm going to address your comments about the stop snitching thing. But about the desk and about the chair, you're absolutely right. And I agree with you. I do need to get a new desk and a new chair. So I will be asking your mama for one for Christmas. Because, and when she bring my plate for Thanksgiving, I'll make sure to put in my request. But talking about the stop snitching, talking about the situation with that, My thing is, I look at it like this. If you playing the game, if you involved in those kind of activities, like I said, I don't knock nobody for whatever they do. I've done my dirt, still having to deal with the repercussions of it to this day. It is what it is. Hey, look, you know, though, I don't agree with snitching in that situation. Now, if you're an innocent civilian, if you didn't ask to live that lifestyle, if you didn't ask to be caught up in some bullshit, I'm gonna be real with you. And that's the same way I say with, like, nigga, if you a gangster nigga, you go fuck with them gangster niggas. If you out there jacking and robbing, you leave innocent people alone. Fucking hardworking people, I don't believe in that shit. But if you playing the game, if you involved in that shit, then you abide by a certain set of rules. But again, we live in a day and age where there are no morals, where motherfuckers don't give a fuck. But again, like I say, if you're a civilian, an innocent motherfucker just trying to live your life, you got to do what you got to do to make your life safe. You know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do to live a better life. You just trying to get by, then hey, I'm not encouraging anybody to snitch. But again, if you don't, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling on the deadline this evening? Hello.
Oh, you gay?
We already know who this is. So, Dominic. I worry about you. Dominic, I want you to, I don't know if you still believe in Santa Claus or not, but I want you to, wherever you send your Christmas list, wherever you make your request at, I want you to ask for some hoes. I want you I want you to take that next step. I want you to graduate. I want you to get you some action because I worry about you. I really do. I need you to get you some hype. I really do think that I think you need to you need to get you some yaya, get you some more hairs. Oh yeah, you could always go to Columbia and get that. You say I feel like snitching only stands when you're not phased. The time when people hear that sentence and they start talking like, man, here's the deal. You'll be surprised, and just leave it at that. You'll be surprised because there's a lot of motherfuckers you think is OGs and been holding it down, and they this and this, and there's a lot of motherfuckers who's sitting at the top of the tower and they do a lot of talking. There's a reason that they've been free for so long, been able to get away with a lot of shit they get rid of because they keep police departments employed. So, it is what it is. Yeah, because it was just, it didn't sound good. Are you gay? It sounded real suspect there. But Dominic, I'm gonna need you to go get you some action. That's your goal for 2019. Fuck a no nut November, because that's an incel thing. You need to go get you some action. You know what I'm saying? That's highly recommended. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Yeah, man, this Kenneth.
Yes, Kenneth. Kenneth, put your mom on the phone so I can make my request. What you want, Kenneth? Goddammit.
You funny, dude. I swear. Oh man. Nah, but on a serious note, like, this is a legitimate question. Like, why do you think that young men, well, specifically black young men, feel like of like 15, 14, and 16, 17? Like, why do you think they feel so influenced by this no snitching culture? But like, I mean, they know that the shit is wrong, but I feel like they still. Well, I don't feel like I know that they still get influenced by that no snitching rule, so-called no snitching rule. But why do you think that happens?
All right, good question. Especially at that age, 14, 15, you're susceptible to a lot of stuff, and it's a lot of these dudes. They look up to the wrong role models, if you will. They're not necessarily role models. They're influenced by the guys they see who may be getting money, or they what they view as manhood, or they view what is masculinity, or whatever it may be. The trappers, dope boys, whatever it is. And, that's a creed for people of that sort. And, these guys, a lot of them, when they're young, especially young black men, want to grow up to either be a rapper. And the rappers are generally fake ass motherfuckers who trying to be like, the real gangster. The real gangster. Why would a real gangster want to rap about the shit they doing? Because they basically snitching on themselves. It was funny because Ferocious Film, he posted something in the Den earlier, the Den Facebook group. And it was funny as shit because it was basically like a dude rapping, and he was basically rapping about the crimes he did and then wondering how he got caught up. It was like a little parody, but it's funny. But the funny thing about that is that shit happens a lot. I'm gonna tell you, last time I was locked up in the county for a while back, a couple of years ago, and just, ear hustling a little bit, just chopping it up with some motherfuckers, and, overhear a conversation about, it wasn't some niggas that was in there, but they was talking about their homeboy, and these niggas rap. And these niggas basically rapping about the shit they did. And they talking about how the detectives ran up on them. Oh, yeah, man, yeah, I heard your song, such and such. Yeah, that shit jamming. Heard about how you robbed, the pharmacy and such and such and such and such. And basically giving these motherfuckers the game. And that's what rappers do. That's what like motherfuckers don't realize. It's like, oh, yeah, that shit hard. That shit jamming. That shit go hard. That shit this, and this. But, man, how do you think the fucking laws know all this shit? Because you giving it to them. Yeah, we was doing this and we were doing it like this, and we was pulling stunts doing this. And, basically telling them about different stash spots, telling them about how they moving dope, telling them about all these things. We doing it on the Greyhound. We doing this. And then how you think these motherfuckers get the game? You put it out in the mainstream media. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You wondering about how motherfuckers getting jammed up. It is what it is, And so it's like, these motherfuckers just they're basically throwing themselves under the bus. You know what I'm saying? And so you looking up to these motherfuckers who telling about stop snitching, don't snitch, but they snitching in their music. You know what I'm saying? Dry snitching, but still snitching nonetheless. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the Den this evening?
What are your thoughts on pineapple pizza?
Pineapple pizza is great. Okay. If anybody got a problem with pineapple on the pizza, you can catch me outside. How about that? I'm hanging up on Dominic. Yeah, it is entertainment. That's what it is. Like, what you got to realize, and this is what I tell people too. Y'all ain't no pineapple pizza. Can't believe it. Pineapple pizza is for the gods only then. But on a serious note though, pineapple pizza is the greatest. Y'all need to stop that hating shit. Stop hating 2019, stop hating. Fuck the stop snitching, just stop hating. But my thing is this. Rap is entertainment. And I tell people, like, the reason why people love Drake and why Drake is so good at what he does is because he's an actor. Okay? He is an actor. And the fact that he is an actor, he knows how to imitate, emulate, fabricate other characters or whatever it is. And that's what he does on music. That's what a lot of these guys do on music. That's why guys can transition from music or rap music especially into acting or these other things, because you're portraying an image on music, on beat. You're just doing it in a timely manner, into a timed scenario, and so that's why it's easy for a motherfucker to transition, or easy for an actor to be a rapper, because you're just acting. You're playing as something that you're not. You're playing a character, on music. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. Like pinto beans and cornbread and shit. That shit good. What the fuck you talking about? Y'all, boy? Y'all tripping. Y'all really tripping. Oh, I thought you said you look. Oh, I thought you said, yeah, it look like. Yeah. I like pinto beans and cornbread. Hold on. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the Den this evening? Hold on. It sound a little faint there. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
All right, let me turn you up a little bit. It sounds a little faint. Hey, man, what you want to drop in the Den this evening?
So I wanted to ask if you saw that picture of that guy who got arrested with like the abnormal neck.
The meme of November. Yes, that motherfucker has been all over. Now, I've never seen like I've seen a lot of people get memed, but I've never seen anybody get that dude has like to if there was like a meme saturation level, like he is the peak because at first when he got arrested in the fucking comment section under that fucking Facebook page was hilarious. And then like all the fucking, oh my God, dog, like it's ridiculous. That shit's fucking hilarious. And the fucked up thing about that dude though is you see the neck in the picture, you would think, oh man, that motherfucker swole. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker, you know, he just put in a lot of work on the fucking neck. But then when he got out like the next day or whatever, you know, I guess he got bailed out or whatnot. That dude is just abnormally built. This motherfucker just got a big ass neck. And the rest of that motherfucker just fucking normal, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that shit there was that's what made it all that much more funny, you know what I'm saying? Because he just had a fucking crazy looking ass neck.
Yeah, but I had a question regarding to do you think? Well, speaking, he was arrested, but do you think there should be a all black police force? Do you think that would help with interactions between black, you know, arrests?
Okay, man, that's a very good question. I do believe that whenever possible, that people should be policing their own neighborhoods or like-minded neighborhoods, because I think that when you do have something, when you have these guys who have been from, you know, these cops who've never been in anything in their whole life, they just, you know, some of them start out actually wanting to be good guys. They come from maybe nice neighborhoods and they think they're doing the right thing. But then they get swayed by rhetoric and things that are said within the police force or whatever they see on TV, just like anybody else. They get into situations that that make them nervous. You know what I'm saying? Cops get scared just like anybody else. And so I feel like, because you wonder why, you know, when you see a lot of, you know, when people talk about how these white kids, they got off, well, it's because it's usually a police officer, somebody who looks at them, so they look at them differently. I think when you deal with your own neighborhood, your own culture, your own kind, you see things differently. So, you know, black kids automatically look older than what they already are. And you see children, and you're gonna treat them differently. As black, you go, okay, man, he's just some motherfucking kids, you know, and you're gonna want to see them have an opportunity, as opposed to somebody from an outside culture may see these kids and say, no, they're troublemakers, they're fucking up, and you know, they may associate them just because of the way they wearing their clothes, because they're not familiar with the culture. Because a lot of niggas wear a lot of shit. You can tell this nigga ain't it. He's not what it is. He just, you know, trying to emulate something. And there's some motherfuckers who really about that. But I think if you bring in more people who are familiar with their culture, I think you would see better outcomes for all parties involved. Me personally, you know, and I think people who deserve, who need to go to jail will go, and people who just sometimes need a little knock on the head to get their mind right. I think that, you know, those people will get the repercussions that they deserve.
All right, and one more thing. Me, 335, and Heidi will have a nice Thanksgiving dinner.
Sounds good.
And then we'll have a three-way. So, all right, bet.
What the fuck, yeah, man. I was trying to let him make it after. Yeah, that's what I was trying to let him after the Thanksgiving. I was like, all right, cool, because I'd already started laughing. And then, bam. Well, there's that. Is the turkey going to be involved in a three-way? Then it becomes a foursome. Yeah, have a three-way, not a tray-way. You say a fucking tray-way, you're gonna be in there with 6ix9ine. That may be happening at the Ed Man Turkey three-way. So there's that. Right. Say rice rape that bitch, why would it be considered a choice? What are you talking about? You talking about old buddy? Man, that's what I'm saying. It's like you say team neither. What the hell is Kenneth talking about? You know Kenneth don't be making no sense. Oh, what's the difference between prison and jail? Prison is where you're most likely to be there for a significant amount of time. We're talking years, or sometimes they like to label it in months, usually double digits of months. Prison is a whole different scenario. Jail is usually on a more local level. You got some stuff you didn't. I'm not saying. I mean, you stop in jail on your way to prison, but jail is usually a short-term situation. Now you got motherfuckers who be in jail for a long time too, but it's usually when you're talking years upon years, you're talking prison. When you're talking more heinous crimes, you're talking prison. But when you're just talking about, motherfucker doing a few months and you got to take care of some stuff or whatever it may be. It could be fines and bullshit like that. You're talking about jail. Now, that's the funny thing about it because, like I said, I've been to county a couple of times and I've heard motherfuckers say they prefer to be in TDC than be in county. And yeah, it probably is. Like I say, the thing about it, and that's funny. That's something funny we're going to talk about because why is it funny well, I think all of it's funny when you're just making jokes, but why is it okay to talk about prison rape and it's always humorous with the feminists? But if you start talking about something involving a man and woman, it's shame on you, But yeah, it all has a code. There's a code in jail too. Look, motherfucker, you better flush that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Come on with the bullshit, big dog. It's a code everywhere you go. They put a mop in the ass. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I have no idea about mops and asses or school dances or none of that. And no, nobody deserves to be raped unless you like a molester. If you're a molester or a rapist, and you gonna get it. Yeah, it ain't going down like that. Look, I might as well get the shake, get the shiv, because I'm trying to live. You know what I'm saying? Because look, hey, a fight go with that. But my thing is, like, even like I say, the thing about it, man, I've seen, like I said, I have never been to prison. So, but I don't have nothing to really sit there and tell you about. I've had family members who've done significant amounts of time in prison. But you talking about, jail, like I said, there's ethics to everything, man. It's just the funny thing about it is motherfuckers in jail, prison, whatever it is, it's more of a I won't say respectable situation, but it's like the ethics in there are almost better than common society. And that's the crazy shit about it. It's wild. You know what I'm saying? There's standards of how you got to carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is, though, you get a lot of motherfuckers who think, yeah, go in there and, whoop the biggest dude and do all this. You go in there, you be your motherfucking self. Don't be nothing that you not, dog. Like, that's, otherwise you gonna get tested. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker gonna test you, dog. Like, that's just what it is. If you go in there playing a fucking role, you gonna get fucking tested. Like, you better be about everything you say you're about. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
What are your thoughts on just letting it happen?
What? We don't know what the fuck that is, but we gonna not even go there. But motherfuckers, but like I say, sometimes things happen. I don't even know what the fuck he said. But sometimes things happen. But the thing about it, though, is my thing is, why is it always these prison cars? How these hoes always ended up knocked up by the fucking prisoners? You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, man. It's funny, dog, because I'll tell you, man, my best friend, man, he was funny. When he was young, he was super wild. But, you go to jail. Sometimes, you be there for a little bit, a couple of weeks or whatever it may be. You always gonna come out with some interesting story, because especially with jail, it's like in and out. Motherfuckers just be there a couple of days and gonna be gone. Some motherfuckers might be there a couple of hours and then be gone. You may be there for a little while. But the thing about it, the people that are in jail, people that are in prison, 90% of them, probably more than that, deserve to be there. There's some motherfuckers who got railroaded and got hoed for some shit, especially from back in the Gap. But the people that you don't see in common society, you know what I'm saying? The people that you see that you don't see in common society, they're in jail for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And it's some shit. Did I ever tell the story about the crackhead Vietnamese? That motherfucker was funny as shit. I'm gonna tell that one day. Probably not today, but I'm gonna tell it one day. But he was funny than a motherfucker. He got beat up by his old lady and some other shit. It was hilarious. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
What's the fatherfucking deal, Honcho? This is Mr. Rabbit.
That sounds like prison conversation. But what's going down? What you want to drop in the den this evening, Dr. Rabbit? Mr. Rabbit, Dr. Rabbit, Rabbit. But what you got?
Are you going to participate in Black Friday?
Well, every Friday for as long as I've known, I have been black. So in that sense, I guess so. But it might be a couple little online deals, but I'm not finna go. I've never gone out on Black Friday because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not with all that fuckery, all that bumping, all that waiting, and all that other shit. Because if I go to the motherfucking store, motherfucker try to bump into me, try to get me for it. Like y'all think y'all have seen some fucking viral videos. So I just rather not put myself in that situation. And no, so I'm probably not going to participate in Black Friday. Cyber Monday, maybe. See what kind of digital deals are available out there and things like that. But I have no plans to go out on Black Friday.
Okay.
What about yourself, Mr. Rabbit? Do you plan on engaging in the Black Friday festivities?
Actually, yes, I was. I was going to camp out at Walmart.
Camp out at the Wally. Well, that's something I've always wondered about because Walmart's open like 24 hours a day. It's like, why do you have to camp out at the Wally?
Wait.
Hello?
Are you serious about that?
Yeah, I mean
that Walmart.
Walmart's open 24 hours a day, so I find that odd. Like when people are camped out waiting, and somebody's just like walking in and out the store. Well, I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna buy some stuff. I see some people outside with tents. What's going on with that?
Well, shit. My plan to camp out just went.
I don't know what's going on here. Maybe you just want to go. Maybe you just want to go camping. But I appreciate the call, Doctor. I got some because I got some I want to spill on Black Friday. But I appreciate your call, man.
All right.
Black Friday is quite odd to me. You know, Black Friday is a strange thing to me because of the things that go down. The people willing to beat each other up over bargain prices. That for late model stuff. But it is what it is. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
This is yours truly. I don't even think I need to say my name at this point in time. I don't think I caught it enough. But then I have another question for you, Honcho. Like, why is it that when someone goes to jail or prison or whatever you want to call it, why is it that friends, well, so-called friends of the person that's in jail is always, posting free them or free the guy? Like, this motherfucker could have shot somebody. Motherfucker got a murder case. Fucking, what's the name? Went in and robbed the store, but it's free them. No matter what they did, it's free them. Like, why is it that people do that type of shit? Like, I don't understand it. Maybe you can explain it to me, but that's kind of my question. Why do you think that's done?
All right, good call, man. Very good question. Sometimes Ken ain't always on some bullshit. I'm telling your mom I want I want a 4K TV for Black Friday. So tell her go ahead and get that tent ready to go wait in line. I need mine. I want a desk. I need a chair and give me one of them big screen 4K. So tell her get that tent ready. I need that. My best explanation of that is people are stupid. And that's really all I can give you. Now I understand when somebody has been wrongly accused of something, and it happens on occasion. But for the most part, man, motherfuckers, and that's what I'm saying. You know, people be mad at the motherfucker who you'll be mad about the cop that killed somebody who done pulled a gun on them and all this other shit. But they talking about free my nigga who done, murdered half a block of motherfuckers. You know, he because he's a real one. Okay. Like, that's why I say I think the way that I think, man. I just, I see right and I see wrong, and I'm not going to be biased because of any particular thing. Even if I don't necessarily agree with whom or what it may be, you got to be reasonable about shit. Rapping police, we already have had rapping policemen. But my thing is, it kills me because people will say free this and free that, especially like with the rappers and stuff like that. Free such says we need a new album. Like, look, I ain't gonna lie, I was screaming free Pimp C because free Pimp C need to be free. He ain't do that shit. But the majority of the time, man, it's ignorant motherfuckers doing ignorant ass shit. And in certain situations, I can understand if it's a minor thing, and again, they just got bamboozled. I could kind of understand it, but a lot of times people just do that shit just to be doing shit because they have nothing better to do. Free shipping. Koalas like endangered. Koala used to be like my elementary mascot, so I've always had a special place in my heart for the koala bear. Them motherfuckers mean as shit. They fucking lied to me. I used to think them motherfuckers was like supposed to be like nice and chill and cuddly. Some motherfuckers got claws and shit. And they are bears. God damn it. They will fucking fuck you up. A koala will maul your bitch ass. So my thing is, when it comes down to it, dog, it's a lot of ignorant people supporting ignorant people. And then sometimes it's just a show of friendship, and I understand that, but sometimes your friends do dumb shit, man. And it is what it is, and you sitting here screaming free such, it ain't gonna get them freed any more than anything else. Shit. How about instead of free such, how about pay a lawyer and then try to get them freed? You know what I'm saying? Like, that is what it is. Man, ain't nobody hollering no free Honcho. You know what I'm saying? One, I wasn't ever fucking on that long, couple of weeks at the most. It wasn't ever no situation where, and I'll be honest with you, man, it may sound crazy. And I hear that Dylan Cole's supposed to be getting off hour. Shout out to Dylan Cole, free Dylan Cole. But the times that I have had to, if we take this call real quick, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
It's brother Charlene. What's up, brother Honcho? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing real good, Charlene. Good to hear from you, man. What you want to drop in the den this evening?
Hey, man, I wanted to ask you a question. You were talking about prison, and you were talking about, like, when people be saying free, Lil Coco and free Lil Juju and all that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And sometimes I think maybe these people are. Do you think they're serious? Or do you think they just fucking around, or they just, that's just their way of, like, expressing an emotional, some type of emotional reaction, but they don't really mean freedom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think that
I just want to know what your thoughts is on it, because I don't believe you like this, because I think what you said earlier about some of these guys are murdered half the block, but they maybe they got a good personality, maybe a girl wearing his shirt that, he fucked her real good or something like that, and she saw somebody hollering this, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you think it's an emotional response? Because I really don't believe these people can't be serious, most of the time when they say that. Now, I can see you saying free Nelson Mandela, somebody like that. But, we talking about Poop, Ray Ray, little Skillet, we talking about them, you know what I'm saying?
Already, man. I got you, Charlie. Man, I appreciate the call. I'm gonna expand on that, man. But I think you got a very good point on that one. I do think you have a very good point on that. I appreciate that. Bet. Man, shout out to Charlie and Fantastic, man. Shout out to Charlie and Fantastic. That's a good dude right there. Man, and I agree with you. I think it's an emotional response for lack of a better thing to say, or lack of them. And again, you know, people say things because they hear other people say it. So I'm gonna put this on my homeboy or whatever. But I think that's what it is. And the thing that happens is because when you have a personal connection to somebody, you don't ever want to lose that person. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. And that's why I say, like, when I talk about people, when you talk about success and other things, but we'll get to that in a second when I'm talking about losing friends. But if it's a person that you done kicked it with and you've had good times, but you have good memories about, then you're not going to look at them in the light of, oh man, they did all this bad shit. You're going to be like, you know, hey man, that dude was a good dude because all I have is good memories of him. You know, I didn't see him murder everybody. I didn't see him do all this. We got money together or whatever the fuck it was. Shit, Ray Caruth is free now. I think he like got out like what a week or two. A week or two ago. But, and I agree, I think it's just an emotional response because, you know, half the time, like I said, I remember when Boosie was locked up, motherfuckers was, excuse me, hollering free Boosie Boo and didn't even listen to Lil Boosie music. Like, cause he had some stuff that got popular, you know, once he was locked up, or when it was getting closer to him to getting free, you know, then you start hearing a bunch of people talking, oh, free Boosie, you know. Like I say, with the Pimp C situation, I understand Bun B, you know, hey, you know, my boy finna get out, is he coming home, or we know, trying to get him home, whatever it is, you know, free Pimp C, because they were a duo. That's what they were, that they were, it was Pimp and Bun, you know what I mean? Like, that went hand in hand. But you have these people who a lot of people don't even know, don't have no connection to, just because they know some old third party shit and they talking about, oh, free such and such, free so and so, you know, and in reality, so and so probably wouldn't even fuck with them, you know. And so I think that it's, I think it's crazy. The Meek Mill situation, I think, could have been slightly valid because he got kind of railroaded by that judge because she was on some hoe shit. Now, like I said, it depends on each case. Each situation is different. You know, and like I said, I'm not going to co-sign no everything, but the Meek Mill situation was different when you saw what happened with him because that judge wanted him to, was trying to get him to sign to a record label or do some other shit and a bunch of just tomfoolery. And so she kind of fucked him over when he really didn't deserve that. And they came out and they had legitimate evidence about the shit that happened to him, how he was set up and everything that happened with him. You know, because they even had police testimony that said, you know, he didn't do the shit that they said he did and just a bunch of shit that came out. And so I think Meek Mill's situation, hollering free Meek Mill because he was violated, I can understand. But, yeah, motherfuckers there. But now, like I was saying, about friends and the connections that we have to friends. And it's funny how relationships affect people because, like you're saying, you know, free so-and-so, you know, that's your boy, but he may be a menace to society, you know, but that may be your partner because y'all always been cool. Y'all used to smoke weed together or something. And so you have nothing but good memories in your mind. But again, people on the other side got nothing but negative thoughts about that person. But then it's the same way with, you're talking about when you're successful, when people who at one point in time were on the same page, the same level as you, and you start to, you know, you get on your grind and you start doing what you got to do to come up, to do better, to get better in life. And it's funny how those connections work because sometimes people feel like, well, I got to bring this person along with me because, you know, they were down there with me because, you know, when I was down bad, they were with me. But why do you have to bring this person along? If they could have made the same decisions that you made, you know, but at the same time, these same people, you know, who were at you at this one point in time, if you decide not to, even if you don't, why do they hate on people who come up? All right, Mr. Rabbit, you got to go get in line. I understand. You got to go get you got to go over there and get in line for the Black Friday. So do what you got to do. You know, why is that? Why do people hate people who come up? Like, people will support somebody they don't know. They'll love the celebrities who come up. They'll love the whoever's, you know, the Taylor Swifts and the, I don't know any celebrities. I think I saw something about her getting a record deal, I think, the other day. That's the only one that came in my head. But they'll support all these people they don't fucking know. You know, love them. That's how I love them. And they this and they that and they this. But then when it's somebody that they do know, somebody who is, they either came up with it, they, yeah, but Black Friday, we're going to talk about that too, about Black Friday. Black Friday is basically Thanksgiving afternoon now. Like, you don't realize, like, it used to be Friday. It used to be Friday at midnight. And then it started going to, later in the hell with the doorbusters, come in at 11 p.m. Then it became, 10 p.m. And then, like, right now, it's basically motherfuckers. I know last year they had people, come in Thursday night for the extra special deal. So it's like Thanksgiving is a funny thing because you're supposed to be giving thanks for all the things you do have, but then you leave your family early to go run by a bunch of shit that you really don't need, but I just thought you were thankful. Exactly. So it's crazy, man. But is it the companies taking advantage of family time, or these people who are willing to sacrifice that time with their family to have more materialistic things? And that's why we're the way we are. That's why I don't blame big companies. I don't blame, people who do certain things. I blame the people, because if people didn't react that particular way, if they didn't fall for the things that these people were doing, or these companies or these businesses were doing, then those businesses would not do it because it wouldn't be beneficial to their sales model. So my thing is, again, I'm not mad at the business. Get your money, man. Like, I'm all about a hustle. Get your money. Matter of fact, should be in the link in the description, but make sure y'all go to the Den shop. I got to make sure. I got to double check though. But, look, I need to have some Black Friday deals on some soft sports shirts. But, my thing is, man, y'all, you have to have the self-control on yourself. You have to, yeah, exactly. Like, blame big banks doing this, and this, and they're making all of. Well, if you didn't want to live outside your means, if you didn't want to, be greedy and try to keep up with the Joneses, and again, this all comes back to your perception of self and what you believe is perfection and what you believe is progress and quality and all these other things. So it's several layers to the same thing, but it's all about self-control, and discipline is a major key. You know what I'm saying? Major key. All right, Balin, I know you got to go watch some deep fakes of Kay Adams, trying to be thick. But you have a good evening. So no. The Kenneth went to the worst HEB and everywhere. I already tell you, HEB stand for hoes everywhere, boy. You know what I'm saying? Hoes everywhere, boy. Kenneth apparently went to the worst HEB in Houston because there were no hoes. You know what I'm saying? No hoes in that HEB. This nigga sent me talking about hoes everywhere, but wasn't no hoes in the damn video. Aisles was empty and shit. Not even a turkey in that bitch. But that's what I'm saying though. You have to try to live within your means, and it can be difficult. I can just pay this back a little bit later. I could just do this, but you have to try to live within your means. It can be very difficult. And sometimes you jump out of bounds, but you got to do it in a reasonable manner. Okay, hey, I'm not going to go to the extreme. Do you realize that I saw something right before we got in? The average consumer plans to spend right under $800, like $700 and I want to say it was like $774 was the average. So round that up to $800 on Black Friday. $800 on Black Friday. 78% of them plan on putting it on a credit card. So what is that telling you? People are going out to rush and get these deals and get these sales for shit that they can't afford in the first place, that they don't need in the first place, but they're going to go out and do it anyway, knowing that they're going to regret it. Same thing with Christmas. And this is why I say, it's not, and that's why I say sometimes I'm glad I was raised, Joe's, because I look at things differently, even though I'm not now, but I look at things differently. Christmas. Fucking buying a bunch of people gifts like I know it feels good and all that other stuff. Shit ain't got shit to do with Jesus' birthday, if that is his birthday. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't got shit to do with his birthday. Ain't none of y'all motherfuckers the wise men. Ain't none of y'all motherfuckers got the star shining on you. Ain't none of y'all motherfuckers producing no miracles. But we got to buy gifts for people. And so motherfuckers are going out of their means to portray this tidings and good cheer and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? But are you Jesus? Yeah, damn it. You probably know you in Laredo, so you know a lot of niggas named Jesus, but shit, it is what it is. But, okay, but what is Santa? Okay, if there was a fucking Saint Nick, what he got to do with Jesus though? Because how did they end up doing all this shit on the same day? You tell me, you explain these things to me. What a coinky dink. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation to get into at another time. But all I'm saying is this. Motherfuckers are breaking themselves to go out and buy a bunch of shit for people they don't even like, shit that they can't afford for people they don't even like. And it's crazy because then they start the year off in debt, start the cycle all the way over again, because then they got to go back to getting on the grind. And well, but okay, I don't know nobody. I don't know any kings. I don't know any miracle workers, except for that preacher with the jacket. I don't know any motherfucking be Lord and Saviors. And so all I'm saying is, like, hey, if it's really about tidings and good cheer, a simple, hey, I love you and a thank you should be good enough, But again, I'm not a very materialistic person, so maybe I just see shit differently. It is what it is. Man, I'm telling y'all, that Fallout 76, I was hoping it was going to be good, but I'm not even finna fuck with it. I see it's got some shitty low ass ratings. They already got that bitch on sale. Bitch just came out. That bitch already on sale for you can get that bitch for $30. Fucking, it's a Black Friday deal, but I'm like, fuck that. I don't even want nothing to do with it. One, Fallout's supposed to be a single player adventure. That's what makes it so great, because the way you control yourself. I don't want to play Fallout with a bunch of people. Because I'm definitely not going to be a friendly person. I'll be over there fucking motherfuckers up. It's a year, yeah, let's buy the game now. Then in a year, I'll buy that bitch, but that bitch is half fucking price, if not less. But my thing is this. Again, Three Kings and all that other shit good was designated for a special individual. Everybody ain't special. That's why we in the situation we in now. Because motherfuckers want to spoil kids. Kids are unappreciative. They fucking feel like they deserve a certain thing. And then you tell them it was Jesus' birthday, but Santa bringing you the shit. Like, it's a whole bunch of convoluted ass BS. So I don't really, again, like I say, I'm glad I never got caught up in all that. Like I say, you can be nice throughout the year. You can be a gift giver throughout the year. You can be loving throughout the year. See, that makes more sense. Shit, I better give them fucking candy. That makes more sense. But sitting here saying, well, this is what I want. It's not even a surprise. Well, I want the Xbox 123. I need a PS8. I need the Jordans. And then you just out here trying to just buy a list full of shit for some shit that this motherfucker telling you that they want. What the fuck? That's not a gift. That ain't no fucking, you just fulfilling a list of wants, man. And so I'm just like, come on, man. Like, the shit to me is just, I like to sit back and watch, You put your shoes outside and Christmas morning, your shoes up. That's the dopest shit I ever heard. Unless you got small feet and you get fucked over, I'd be winning. Like, let me go ahead and put these outside real quick. But that's how it's supposed to be, man. Like, to the point where you look, fuck a list. It's supposed to be about love and all that shit. And that's why we have this society that feels like they need to continue buying, and getting this because I'm not loved or I'm not good enough or I don't have this or I don't have that. Man, fuck all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit don't mean shit to me. Again, that's why I say I'm thankful I'm not materialistic. Hold on, we got a call here. I didn't even see it. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Like I said, I'm not gonna, call my name on no more. I'm gonna just get straight to the point. All right, so look, Honcho, I seen some crazy shit on Snapchat real quick, and I started making me wonder, why is it that the people that ain't got nothing good going on in their lives always got something to judge about the people that are trying to do something with their life? Like me, I'm trying to start me a little YouTube channel. I might do it, but
you ain't no Mike. Hold on, kid. Hold on.
What you trying to do?
This nigga here. This hold on, Kenneth. How you gonna be? I'm trying to start me a YouTube, and then I might do it, nigga. You gonna do it or you ain't? And I'm telling you to do it. I'm telling you to do it. I'm not discouraging you from doing it, but the phrasing, the words that you use right now have already put you in a situation where you're almost defeating yourself, where you're contradicting yourself. I might do it, but I don't. I'm trying to, but I might. I don't know. Look, ain't no trying to. It's you're doing it. You're going to start your YouTube channel. Okay, now carry on with what you were saying.
Yeah, but I seen some people that that I see they parents talking down on what they trying to do and shit. But it's why is it that why is it that parents talk down on their kids and shit? there's one girl that I know, like her parents don't want her to be in ROTC because they think that she gonna end up like one of what's it called? She gonna end up like a homeless veteran and shit like that. And it's like, damn, not even your parents are supporting you, which is the crazy part. Like, hey, why don't parents support their kids more? Indeed, like, why is it that people that got nothing good going on with their lives be the first ones and be real quick to judge when someone tries to start something? Like, what do you think that happens?
Man, it's it's a very interesting thing. I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna hang up on you, but good call. And start that goddamn channel,
Right.
nigga. Envy, jealousy, and then again, you have a lot of parents, and I hate to say it, I agree with you with the jealousy, that you have parents who sometimes they intend to be well-meaning and they don't want to see negative stuff happen for their kids. But the thing is, you have to go out there and live your own life, and that's why I say, family is a weird thing. And that's why I say a lot of times too, hey, do your own thing. Fuck what your people talking about. And it can be good, it can be bad, because sometimes your family can't be giving you good advice. You're trying to be a fucking rapper and you sound like fucking Ice JJ Fish or something. Your parents trying to tell you, hey man, that might not be the lick for you. You know what I'm saying? That might not be the move. They might be trying to help you out. But a lot of times, and I don't know, it could be 50-50. I guess you got to look at it. Sometimes you need to take advice, sometimes you don't. A lot of times, parents, they want to be well-meaning. They want to see you best. Sometimes they doubt you. Sometimes they don't know how bad you want something. If you don't espouse your beliefs and your feelings about shit, then they may say, they may not think you're really into it. They may, or if you have a habit of doing things that you haven't been successful at, they may feel like you're going to fail. They may have their own personal beliefs implemented. They may be putting themselves in your shoes, and they may not be you. And that's what you have to understand too. You might have the juice. They might not have ever had it, but it is unfortunate because you would think as a parent that you would support your child's dreams no matter what. Now, unless it's just something that's going to directly get them into the harm, or they trying to go straight to the stripper pole, then I would say no. But if it's something valid, I see no problem. I see no problem in encouraging. She want to be in ROTC. She want to be in the military. She want to be whatever it is. And I think ROTC is good because I believe it would teach discipline and things of that nature. And sometimes you need that because maybe sometimes the parents don't even have it themselves, It is what it is, man. So that's fucking Dominic. Sometimes you're on point. Sometimes you're a little off course, and I worry about you. But my thing is, it's unfortunate, and I believe I support anybody for anything they do, even if I don't know a motherfucker. I try to encourage, like Kenneth. I think Kenneth is a simp. I think he would probably start a channel about simping, but I encourage him to do it because then maybe other simps from around the YouTube community will come watch his channel and support him. I'll support him with plenty of negative comments about his simpology, but maybe to motivate him to make better videos. But again, like anybody who's ever, man, I'm thinking about, man, I encourage everybody to make a YouTube video. How are we having this conversation right now? Honestly, with a lot of this, I could give credit to, the lady Honcho. She gave me a lot of motivation to do certain things. I had ideas and thought about it, and I'm like, maybe so. I don't know this, and she encouraged, and again, and it's built into what it's become now. So, welcome back to my first blog. That's funny. Fucking lighter's trash. But again, but before your mama buy you all that stuff for your YouTube channel, make sure she get my desk. Make sure she get my chair, Kenneth. God damn it, I need mines. But again, and you have to just understand where they're coming from. Is it a concern? Is it from hate? Is it, if they have nothing but negativity, if a person can only give you the negatives about what you're doing, then most likely it's coming from an angle of hate. But if they sit there and try to say, hey, well, I think that you would be good at this, and this, but have you thought about, this part, then it can be more of an area of concern and they just want the best for you. But either way it goes, a person should motivate you, man. A person should motivate you. If a real friend will motivate you, a real friend will support you, and sit there and say, hey, well, you could do a little better here. This is what I think you should, do some of this or do some of that, But again, and I tell you all the time, it'll be strangers because I'll be honest with you, like the majority of people who fuck with what I'm doing are strangers. You know, I mean, and that's where the majority of my support is. And I know motherfuckers I fucked with from back in the gap, and I talk about it all the time. I cut a bunch of motherfuckers off. Hey, you running with scissors? I'm cutting motherfuckers off. And I ain't really tripping about that, you know. And they be, you know, sidelines looking and peeping, but don't ever really say a whole lot of shit, you know, and that's cool. And makes me feel no particular kind of way, you know, because like I say, nothing, I don't feel any particular kind of way. I appreciate the support of the people who believe in what I'm doing. And it's kind of the same thing we were talking about earlier. Like, and I trust me, like, I don't want y'all to think I'm trying to get a big head or something, because a few hundred people on this channel, a couple of thousand on the other channel. And actually in my second year of, or the second set of the time doing, my growth is slow. And that's partly my fault because I haven't been doing as much recording. But, you know, I don't feel like I'm anywhere. I don't feel like I'm remotely close to where I want to be. You know, not even close. And, you know, so I don't feel like I'm somewhere, oh, you know, I got this going on, it's me because of this, and this. But, you know, seeing the growth, growing from, you know, a couple hundred to a few thousand or whatever it is. Like I say, it's people on the sidelines who peep it and they subscribe. They don't say nothing. They don't fuck with a nigga. Hey, you know, I see you doing something different. Or, hey, you know, this, and this. Hell nah. Wasn't no motherfucking, ain't no motherfucking me. Ain't no motherfucking be a Black Friday sales on the bootlegs. Every day is Black Friday with the bootlegs. But like I say, you know, the people that fuck with it and that's real with it, again, you know what I'm saying? You trust me. You know, I got partners, like I say, they don't fuck with it, but they don't even fuck with the internet. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You say people rock with it, great. If they don't, at least I tried. It ain't no trying. You're going to keep pushing until you get it right. You know, if you want to get into something, it ain't no try. It ain't no, I'm going to do 1 or 2 videos. I didn't get no fucking nothing. Because you even asked me yourself, you know, how, you know, I felt from when it went, you know, it was only a couple of people coming through the stream, excuse me. And when there was only a couple of people coming through the streams to, you know, occasionally it'll get a couple of hundred, you know, the numbers will get up there sometimes, you know. But that's because you treat it the same. Whether it's one person watching your motherfucking ass or 1,000 people watching your ass, man, you fucking keep pushing. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It don't fucking matter. Like, you keep it, you treat everybody equally. You make, you know, the one person feel like, you know, they are 1,000 people, whatever it is, man. Like I said, I appreciate everybody equally. And that's why I say, you know, I always say the sauce is, and I'm dead serious about it. Like, without y'all, without the ingredients, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, and that's the way you put that. That's that super violent. And T'Challa, you're absolutely right. Self-defeating prophecy. There is no just do. There is no try. There is no try, man. You either execute or you don't. You know, it may not be to the fullest of the extent you want to execute, but you execute. And 200 is a lot. And what I'm saying, yeah, because you got to think about that. And that's actually one of the things I was like, as I was learning the stream and doing all that other stuff. And it was from a game stream. And he was like, hey, you got to think about it. You know, how would you be reacting if, you know, think about when you played games in front of you, when you had, you know, friends over and stuff, or, you know, if you had to stand in front of an auditorium and give a speech, or you had to do these things. You know, people always see the people with thousands and thousands and be like, oh, I want to be there, I'm not there. But shit, if you get a room full of 30, 40 people paying attention to you, man, that's, if you imagine that, not just like you're on a camera and you only got a few people looking at you because you think about the millions of people on the planet, but if you imagine a room with 30 or 40 people listening to you, you know, you got something going. You have, yeah, the fucking den is not an American classroom. These American classrooms be crowded. Fucking the den is like a special ed classroom size. But y'all get all my attention because y'all are special to me. But my thing is, and that's how you got to look at it, man. And that's how you have to look at it, because ultimately, man, like I say, you know, you gotta appreciate the people who support you, man. You gotta appreciate the people who fuck with what you do, and let them know that you appreciate it. Because I do. Like I say, man, time, when I say that time is the most valuable asset, it is. And the fact, if you tuning in and you being active, even if you just listening, you know, if you catch it later on while you doing other stuff, I appreciate that, because nobody has to fuck with me at all. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has to. They be like, oh, this is a fucking Honcho nigger. I hate his shit. He fucking that Negro with his Jamaican dreads. Go back to Jamaica, you motherfucker. But you know, it ain't, you ain't gotta fuck with me. You know what I mean? Like nobody has to fuck with me at all. So I'm appreciative for the time. I don't take anything for granted. I don't take anything for granted at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's again, you have to appreciate the fact that somebody's willing to give you time. Like I don't expect anybody. I'm always happy to see that when people return and they, they're frequent and they're consistent with it. I'm always happy. But when sometimes people pop in and out, I mean, people have lives too. So you can't get mad when such and such ain't show up or, people ain't pull up and, they ain't come through, man, that don't mean shit, man, because people have lives outside of this. This is a privilege for them to be. It's not a privilege for you to hear me. It's a privilege for me to have you enjoying, what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm just another nigga on the internet. You know what I'm saying? They gonna buy that shit. They gonna fuck with this shit. I'll tell you, book coming soon, ebook coming soon. Tell y'all, do not take my advice. I'm just another nigga on the internet. But I'm telling y'all, like once the den gets to a respectable size, I'm gonna drop that book. I'm working on the cover right now. It's gonna outsell Charlemagne and his simp book. So, but I'm saying, what? Your cat took your phone. I'm telling you, that's gonna be the name of the book. Y'all think I'd be joking? So I'll be telling y'all, don't run out in the real world taking my advice. If you ain't done a little bit of extra research on your own, because they be like, well, who told you that? Man, this dude named Honcho. I be watching him on the stream. They be like, who you listen to some nigga on the internet? Okay, so all I'm telling you is that I can give you advice. What you do with it after that is. Now I'm gonna be cool on your ghostwriting, Jay Bird. I'm gonna need actual words. I don't want fucking, try to write a 150-page book, 75 pages full of caca. That shit ain't gonna get. That shit ain't gonna give me nothing. But it might be a bestseller because all of Jay Bird's personalities, all his different accounts, gonna buy the book, and then I'll be #1 New York Times bestseller. That's how it works. Yeah, it's a holiday. I'll give y'all some mixer action, but I'm excuse me, pardon me. I'm gonna go to the gym first, so it may be a little bit later on the mixer action this evening. So it's about to be 12. So let's say about 1-ish, 1:30-ish. Do a little bit of mixer action for a little bit. Then I'm gonna get some rest after that. It's about 1:30 on the mixer action, because like I said, I gotta get appropriated for the gym and all that. But I said I would give y'all 2 hours this evening because I promised y'all a den last night and I didn't do it. So we'll chop it up for a couple more minutes, about 3-4 more minutes, and then like I said, I got pretty much most of my stuff pretty much good to go. So when I get up out of here, I'll be heading straight to the thing. Yeah, that's the funny thing when you try to retract the message, the bitches still be on the screen because you can't take them back from the chat bot. So we know exactly what's on your mind. You know what I'm saying? You ain't hiding nothing, son. No, not Call of Duty. Probably some Red Dead. We need to play some fucking Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider, that real shit. Y'all be on that Red Dead shit. Tomb Raider, real shit. Behoofed. Yeah, that's the Grand Theft Horse 2 Behoofed edition. I should have paid the extra money to get the Behoofed edition. Goddamn. Damn it. Should have upgraded. But again, man, I want to say thank you. I want to say shout out to everybody who called in. Shout out to everybody who who just been participating in the stream. Why should I shout you out, right? You know, you called in so much, man, you got to say your name no more, right? Ain't that the case? And didn't you say something like that? Y'all know Kenneth in here, so y'all know y'all getting kicked out of Kenneth in here. You know that's how it goes. Well, yeah, man. Like I just say one more time, though, I do appreciate y'all, and again, never take it for granted. Debating. Maybe there'll probably be some sauce tomorrow. Because again, by the time sauce comes on, these motherfuckers gonna be out there Black Friday shopping or doing something else. They can be an 8 already. Motherfuckers be eating at 11 in the morning and shit. So there'll probably be a sauce tomorrow. Probably have a Turkey Day sauce, and we'll probably do it then too. So we'll probably be back in action tomorrow. You know, people will be off. I think that's the least I could do. You know, when people have an off day, they can enjoy it. So I think with that being said, man, it's been no, I'm not gonna be a rational recap. We're gonna go ahead and start looking forward to the Titans game, because it's already gonna be Thursday. You know, it's on a Monday night, so we're gonna kind of start looking towards the Titans and that whole situation. Maybe we'll talk about Thanksgiving tomorrow in the den. Did the Pilgrims really share with the Indians? Native Americans, I apologize for somebody come in and hit me with the band hammer. But again, I appreciate y'all. I'm looking at doing something a little bit different with that. Like not different, but I ain't finna get into that. I'll see. I got to decide tomorrow how I'm gonna do with the podcast. I'm gonna drop a recorded tomorrow. Hopefully, I'd be saying I'm gonna do it, and then I haven't not been recording like I want to, but I got some things in so I can make the recordings look a little bit better. So I'm gonna start trying to give a daily recording. I've been trying to figure out how to do some not how to, but for the den to grow. I know it needs probably some recorded videos too, but I haven't really just ever done a lot of recorded videos for the den. But so I'm gonna start thinking about that too. So I'm thinking about maybe the topic of the day, doing a recorded video early on, and then just kind of going live with that topic at night, and then just kind of open up the den line off the bat, and then we'll just kind of talk about it. So I'll be able to just kind of put my thoughts out early, and then in the evening when we have the den live, we'll just open it up. So something like that. So yeah, I say that every day, and I have intentions of doing it every day, but then I overthink myself about things, and that's part of my problem. Is done is better than perfect. Yeah, so we brought it full circle. Thank you, T'Challa. Brought it full circle because we're talking about perfection. Done is better than perfect, and because what I do tend to do is I'll be working on something, and then it's like, well, I could do a little of this, do a little, and then by that time, and then the time it takes for stuff to process and get done, it's just like, well, shit, it's going to be time for the fucking live stream. But even with the live stream, people still want the recording, so it is what it is. But I'm looking at a couple other different things that I think can take the sauce to the next level as far as the podcast and some other stuff. So, but with that being said, hey, chugging up a deuce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Yes, Kenneth Mixer, it'll be 1:30. Your ass need to go to bed. Tell your mama I have my plate ready. I want my plate here on time. Because if it ain't on time, I'm going to tax that ass and tell her Black Friday, I don't know if Office Depot having the specials, but she can go to Office Depot, get my desk, get my chair. You know what I'm saying? I want something with the leather back. You know what I'm talking about? So, you know what I'm saying? I want to be sitting in luxury. I want an executive chair. You know what I'm talking about? So she better have my shit right. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that shit from the resale shop. She'd be having the fucking cutting and stuffing and shit coming out. I know how she be trying to do me, So make sure I want my plate. I want that shit fresh out the oven. I don't want that microwave reheated shit. You know what I'm talking about? I want my shit all together, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, if she don't get it right, I'm going to take that shit out on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like that tight end did. But with that being said, hey, man, I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Thank y'all for coming through the den. But because y'all kicking it with that dude, Kenneth, y'all got to get the fuck out. Simp free zone, goddamn.